morning, everyone. Today is Friday, February 3rd. Welcome to episode 4 of AM Chatter. As you can see, new look, fresh look, upgraded. We're live for the first time on YouTube today. Before we get going, let me introduce my co-hosts, Mr. Senior Loan Officer Anthony LaPera and Tom Burko. Anthony, how are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm good. They're finally cutting that tree next door out of that neighbor's yard. So if you hear that, that's what that is. So it's a little noisy. So.
All right. Well, good to see we got some movement on the tree. It's good to hear. Mr. Burko, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. You know what today is?
Day after Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's true. It's also Pebble Beach Pro-Am Friday, baby.
Sounds like work from home for Mr. Burko.
Tune into your TVs this evening. Watch a little bit of the Pro-Am guys out there. There's all types of characters playing.
All right, can you bet responsibly on that one?
Yeah, I put my bets in on Tuesday, so I ran out of money, so I wasn't playing them all weekend.
All right. Well, good luck to your bets.
Thank you.
I've heard that's a fun one. I don't really get into that one, but Pebble Beach is obviously a pretty fun course to watch.
Going to Arizona State, I'm sure you're ready for next week.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Waste management and Super Bowl banger.
Big week in the Valley of the Sun, let me tell you. Big week. All right, boys, we had big news in our world this week with the Fed meeting. The Fed did exactly what they said they were going to do. They raised rates 25 basis points, but that really wasn't the big talk. What we were expecting and what we wanted to hear was what Fed Chair Powell said after the meeting, where he said it sounds like there's going to be 2 more 25-point raises this year. Again, those are much lower than the 75-point raises we were seeing last year. And then it sounds like we're going to slow things down or take a pause. All that talk helped rates this week, again, helping them push them regular conforming 30-year rates, around that 6%, which we want to see. So let me get your guys' opinion. How are you looking still at this first quarter after the Fed's decision? Tom, let's let you go first this time. Little guy on the bottom.
I thought that was a very positive meeting that we had here this week. The rates did tick down even after they raised the rates up. Just because of what he was saying, like Ryan was talking about, we're only going to have 2 25-point basis point hikes throughout the rest of the year, which is a good note for investors. And the market did respond well to that this week as well. So everything is looking a little bit less grim for the economy and better outlook here for 2023. So I'm pretty darn excited about that after closing up the first month.
Absolutely. Anthony, Mr. Senior.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, I mean, I think the lowering of the rates, I mean, as far as like this week, I mean, we've been in the high fives, for a lot of our programs. And I think it's a misconception that a lot of people think, like, if the Fed raises the rate 0.25%, the overall mortgage rate goes up 0.25%, which is, not totally accurate. It has its fluctuation, but it's more for adjustables like credit cards, home equity lines, things that are based on the prime rate, not the long-term, 30-year yield, which affects, the actual mortgage rate. So, yeah, I mean, as far as rates declining, I think it's going to push more buyers, in the market since they were held off. And I think it's a great time for spring because there's more homes on the market. There's less competition. And I think more buyers are going to be able to buy a home and have not have to go above and beyond to get their offer accepted. So I think it's definitely all positive information, in that scenario. So.
All I hope is you get some free firewood out of that giant tree that went down next door because we can hear it. We got the guys working. So talk to that neighbor, get some free wood. It is going to be cold this weekend. So, take advantage, Ann.
It's a big tree. I'm going to ask. I'm certainly going to ask.
You should. All right. So, and then again, with interest rates, Another big misconception out there, I think we all can agree, every lender is going to have different rates. You can't just say my rate is X. There's different programs, there's different rates, there's different costs. So if you're out there shopping around, if you get an offer accepted, reach out to any of us all weekend long. We all work weekends, evenings, whatever it may be. We can all help you out when it comes to a rate check or a second look. So there's my plug there for us at West Penn Financial. Moving on to some other topics. I don't know if you guys, again, heard a guy named Tom Brady retired for the second, third, fourth time. All I had to say, like I said on social media, good riddance. I think he killed us. We never beat that son of a you-know-what. I hate him. I'll always hate him, and I'm glad he's gone. So my personal theory, good riddance. See you later, Tom. Have fun in your single life in the booth. But other than that, I'm done with them. I don't care. What do you guys think?
I got mixed feelings. I have been one of the only guys in Pittsburgh that respected Brady, but I do hate LeBron. So I feel like you pick one or the other at that point. I think he's been the best pro quarterback in history. So it was cool seeing him play for 23 years. However, he whooped up on our Steelers. So see you later. Good riddance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I did see a great meme the other day. It was talking about Brady. It's like Brady is the guy that everybody looks up to. Retired from football, got his wife to divorce him, goes back to play football, and now he gets to retire and play golf every day without a wife. So I personally love my wife, and I would never want that. But a lot of people are saying that on social media.
Well, you brought up LeBron. I don't know if you guys saw over the weekend, or maybe it was late last week. You know what the problem with society is in our younger generation? This guy is who they look up to. Did you see him crying on the floor after a no call? Could you imagine if you or I acted that way in Little League? If I threw a temper tantrum like that, my dad would have picked me up by my ear and dragged me off the freaking field. I mean, that is a shame. It's a joke. And kids, do not act like LeBron James.
I went to a 5th grade basketball game last night. It was Montour at Avonworth, over at Avonworth Primary Center. And those kids, they played hard. Three of them fouled out in the third quarter. They were hacking so bad, and not one cried to the officials. So I think the youth is doing a little bit better than LeBron.
That's good. For the only one of us that has some youth in his house, make sure you teach him right, Anthony. That's all I got to say.
Definitely. Hey, my dad didn't raise me to quit and cry when something goes on. So, yeah, gotta suck it up.
Well, you're definitely from the generation above, so you're a few ticks away from that, so I can understand. Finally, before we go today, I do need to talk about after last episode. AM Chatter's been going nationwide. We've already had Major League Baseball players become fans, start messaging on Instagram. We've had many comments, many viewers, but after last episode, we were getting into egg prices and whatnot. And one of our commenters made a comment about how there was just a chicken fire this week, and like 100,000 chickens died. And believe it or not, for some reason, I have no idea why, I won't get into the politics, YouTube took that comment down. So just to show how popular we are and how great we're doing, Big Tech, after 3 episodes, is already looking at us. Don't be afraid to comment if you're in the commenters, if you're live right now. But just know that Big Tech is following us, and to keep that in mind.
So good shout out on that. Everybody needs to be aware.
Yes. And then one final thing before we go for the weekend. Tom Burko filled me in on this story from, I believe, San Diego this week. Tom, let's talk about this feel-good story.
So, yeah, we were talking about the chicken fires last week and stuff. So, I'm a big news guy. I tuned into the news earlier this week, and I saw a story where there were 70 cats and dogs that had to be rescued from a house fire that they believed was intentional. Now, I thought that's not the good part of the story. That's kind of sad. But as we get into it, the fire department and the fire trucks out there are equipped with gas masks or smoke masks for animals. They were actually able to throw 3 smoke masks on these animals and saved 3 dogs from dying through that. So I thought that was a pretty cool story that they are now training for your animals, because in some instances, some families, those animals are just as much as a person.
I think that's pretty cool. I'm a dog lover. You're a dog lover. Mr. Allergy in the upper right, we won't talk about him. But yeah, that's awesome.
I do love animals, but kids have allergies. I can't. Yeah.
He only likes pumas.
Nothing I can do about that.
So yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's money well spent. Anywho, that's the end up our Friday show. Have a great weekend, and we will be back on Tuesday for episode 5. See you later, boys.